Oh, I think we're going through a tremendous amount of change. I mean, not just structurally as regional players buy the oil company assets, but as they decide to broaden out on their retail offer, particularly in food service and convenience. And we're seeing all of the presenters and everybody who's a leader in the market grow their footprints and really invest heavily in food and convenience and become destinations outside of fuel, because let's be honest, fuel is declining as a category. People are coming less frequently to the stations, and that will continue, but the opportunity to get them in for a coffee 3 times a day is phenomenal. So if you're not on that bus or in that car moving towards that area of convenience and food service, you need to get there. We see huge changes and we see huge differences internationally and regionally. What I would kind of say is that everybody's on a timeline, so you might be immature in terms of your development of convenience or food or petroleum retailing, but ultimately you will get to a mature state. So I think people need to look around the world and see what is that roadmap or what is that journey and how do you get to being best in class. The ones that get there the fastest are the ones that will survive and prosper, and the ones that don't take notice of where the market's going will not be in business in a few years' time.
I think that the coffee offer at the convenience store or petrol station is key to the success. It is an important category nowadays, and I think that the importance is growing. And also at symposiums and summits like this, you can hear the leaders of these convenience chains, but also petrol station, talking about this category as one of the future growth categories in their business. I think that the profitability highly depends on the offer you're having. We see that internationally some of the coffee offers are challenged, especially coffee offers which are a little outdated. When we talk about drip coffee in the USA or drip coffee also in Germany, clearly there you have a problem of volumes, because the aging population is drinking less coffee and the young generation is drinking more high quality premium fresh coffee together with fresh milk. And if you cannot get your head around to offering also fresh coffee, fresh milk, you will have your issues in going forward. At the same time, we see that customers who bet on fresh milk solutions, also say coffee house quality, barista quality coffee, are having very good successes in the market and can actually increase the share of customers which come from the pump into the convenience store, and can also get some customers from the coffee chains into the convenience store. Obviously, what we are trying to do as Franke is to make systems as easy as possible in the servicing, but also in the day-to-day interaction with the customers, and especially in the cleaning, so that you can make sure that you have a hygienic milk system and you can have fresh milk in an environment which typically back in the days did not use that kind of fresh offering.
And the most important thing when you're talking about fresh food in petrol stations or any kind of forecourt retail market or motorway services is to make sure that the food is presented fresh to the customer. They can see that it hasn't been on the shelf for 6 hours, 10 hours, a day, because that isn't fresh. Customers want to be able to see, touch, taste and feel the food. People eat with their eyes first, and it's our responsibility as retailers to give them an offer that's as fresh as possible. So if that means you can cook and prepare the food on the front counter and then hand it over to the customer, that's the ideal position. The second position is to cook the food and keep it warm for the customer so that they can then choose for themselves what they'd like. That also speeds up service, and it also enables you to batch cook, which means you can prepare a little bit more. It becomes more profitable and more satisfying for the customer, and it also allows you to offer a lower price point. So the Chopstix business model is a fairly simplistic one. We have re-engineered Oriental recipes and making them fit for the Western palate, because obviously the food that we serve in Chopstix is not the same food that you would get in, say, China or Japan. So what we've done is we've created a fusion of Oriental and Thai and Chinese flavors. We've taken out all the nasties, so there's no monosodium glutamate, and it's all prepared with fresh ingredients that are very easily locally sourced.
Rayton Convenience is a convenience retailer in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland and the 3 Baltic states. We have around 2,400 stores, and we also have a partnership with Shell in Norway, Sweden and Denmark, where we have 7-Elevens at a number of Shell gas stations in those 3 countries. I think the future of convenience is great. People travel a lot more, and that makes all the bigger cities, they have to build out their public transport, but they also need to build out the roads, and I think we will have more people traveling, and we need to be on the best traffic locations, if that's a train station or an airport or a fuel station.
Payment technology is very important to the convenience retailing industry. We need to provide options for customers to do various types of card payments, whether it's a traditional credit card, a contactless card, or a mobile payment medium. Exciting time right now in the payment technology industry. You have a lot of new players such as Apple Pay, Google. A lot of the non-traditional payment mediums are now coming into the mix. So one thing that we have to do in the industry is be able to provide hardware and software solutions that can facilitate those different payment mediums and offer a choice to the customer on the way they want to actually pay for their goods and services. Well, ultimately, when the consumer has more choices to pay, it offers obviously a convenient way for them to want to pay. But one of the benefits of having, for example, mobile payment is the ability to converge loyalty and other factors to the customer so that they'll be able to enjoy promotions and things that are tailored to their purposes.